everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews. This is a weekly podcast, and we do upload the video version to our YouTube channel, so you can check that out if you want to see our beautiful faces. My name is Vetta, and as always, I am joined by my brother Matt.
Hey, you guys.
And this is season 5, and for this month, we are doing double feature, which means we are going to be watching original movie and a remake.
Yes.
So we'll be talking about 2 movies. So on this episode, we're going to be talking about A Star is Born. We're going to be doing the 1976 A Star is Born with Barbra Streisand and the 2018 A Star is Born with Lady Gaga.
Yes, which I think is good for us to do real quick. Sorry, I'm interrupting you. But I think it's good to just do because it has to deal with singers, and the original one had to deal with actors, an actor and an actress. So I feel like it was better for us to do the singer one. Plus, I want to talk about the songs.
The 1937 one was actors and actresses.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So, what are you drinking? Because that's the most important thing.
Most important question.
We've already said what movie we're doing. Now let's talk about the drinks.
So this one I had some time to prepare for. So this is called a Born a Star cocktail.
Yes, which is a play off of a porn star.
I didn't know
cocktail.
That part.
Yeah,
I didn't know that, but I just typed in A Star is Born cocktail into Google, and this is what came up. So this has got vodka in it, my favorite. Yes. And then it's got vanilla syrup, and then it said to use passion fruit syrup, but it said you could substitute that with mango. So that's what I did. I did the mango instead because I couldn't find passion fruit. And then lime juice, and then sparkling wine, which I love. You know me.
I was gonna say, I'm sure you have that.
Yeah, I have plenty of that. So, and it is, let me just say right now, I might be drunk by the end of this fucking podcast because it tastes like candy. I was like, this is so good.
And for those of you that are listening, I'm having just a rum and coke because I just love it.
You could have busted out a bottle of whiskey, and I'd have been like, hey, that's good enough for the second movie. You know what I'm saying? Or both movies.
The last plane I was on, this guy kept drinking whiskey straight up, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that shit's hard.
So for those of you that need the visual effect, Matt and we brought out our glam wigs.
Our glam wigs,
got a nice platinum blonde wig going on.
You can't really see it. It's way different in real person, but it's fine.
It looks platinum blonde to me.
Yeah, it's fine. What about
mine? Is a lovely lilac purple.
I love it.
I got some bangs. I'm not sure I'm liking the bangs. I don't think I'm a bangs girl. But hey,
right on. I should have worn my like blonde one. That would have been better. I have like a whole bucket full of wigs. It's great.
I have like a witch one that's like ombre gray from black to gray. But
don't worry.
There's so much hair. Like I don't
so
know
much hair.
I have so
it's
much
like
hair.
So far in the back. I was like, this is it's like
so much.
Yeah, how do girls deal with this shit? I was like, get this shit out of my face. I was like, I can't breathe. Okay.
Alrighty, so we are comparing the Barbra Streisand A Star is Born and the Lady Gaga. Right. So can I just start off with, why is it every movie that is about rock stars and any sort starts off right away drugs and alcohol? Drugs and alcohol in both movies. Within the first 30 seconds, they're snorting coke, popping pills, and drinking Jack.
You know what? Maybe that's the lifestyle, you know? I don't really understand it. Sorry, I'm playing with my hair right now, but it's like really bothering me.
But now I'm starting to understand why women with really long hair are always touching their hair.
That's so true. That's so true. Okay. Yeah, I don't know either, but I just have to say, because I loved the opening scene for the 1976 version because that crowd was freaking mental. And I was like, were the 70s really that crazy? They were letting off fireworks in an arena. And I'm like, you just can't do that these days. They were at one point, they were like, we don't like it that you don't know the words to your own song. And I'm like, I love that he doesn't know the words to his own songs. It shows craziness to me. That's a good story.
Let's be honest, in today's crowd, if an artist can't remember the lyrics, they do that thing where they hold the microphone up.
Oh my God, right. Yeah. And he tried to get them to do it, but they're like, they're having none of his bullshit.
No.
They're like, no, boo.
You were late. We waited 3 hours. Like somebody yells, I don't know how long it really was, but they're like, we've been waiting hours. I was like, oh my God, calm down.
Yeah, I would have asked for a refund after that. But Yeah. Can I ask you real quick, which one of these two movies did you like better?
Okay, so I had only before this seen the original A Star is Born. Like, I hadn't seen the Barbara Streisand. I'd seen the Lady Gaga, and then I'd seen the original 1937 version.
Oh, right on. I haven't seen that one. I kind of want to watch it now, but go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, it's very wholesome because, movies back then, they were very subtle with their scandalizing stuff.
Right. They're like, we don't fuck.
No. We hold hands, and even then it's chaperones there.
Right, exactly. This is fucking annoying. I'm getting mad. Okay, go ahead.
Can we take off the wigs? I'm so freaking hot.
No, let's keep them on.
Mouth.
It's a funny visual, but I'm getting mad. I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting mad, but I'm at the same time, every time I look up at us, I'm all like, this is funny. Okay, go finish what your thought was.
I did not originally when I first saw that. Yeah, I have to take my glasses off.
Yeah,
they're
just do this.
up.
That's good.
This wig is making me roast like a turkey. Originally I did not like the Lady Gaga, like the 2018 A Star is Born when I first saw it. No, I was just kind of like, because that was like her first theatrical role, and I was like, oh, she just wanted to act, so she just wanted to sing in a movie or whatever. That's the only reason she got this part or whatever. But now that I've seen the Barbara Streisand version, I'm like, oh no, Lady Gaga's version's better. It's good.
I have to agree because I'll tell you right now.
And I like Barbara.
I like Barbara Streisand too, but I was 20 minutes in. I was like, oh my God, there's 2 hours of this bullshit. I was like, oh my God. Every time there was a concert, it was a full-blown concert. Like we watched song
concert.
Exactly. We watched song after song after song. And I was like, he's like, what was that one song? He's like, go to hell, and I was like, I'm in hell watching your movie, asshole.
And they turned into Guar and they put on
what was that? And then what's his face, the crazy actor, was all like with the cowbell, was just walking around the stage. I was like, I don't like you. Yeah, Gary Busey. I was like, I don't like your big bag of crazy and everything. So
and that was before like Hollywood deemed him crazy. That was back when he was still a great guy.
Exactly. Although I just want to say, when Bradley Cooper went to Lady Gaga's bar where she was performing, Lady Gaga's eyebrows sucked. I'm just gonna say that right now.
That creeped me out that he asked to take her eyebrows off. Like
that whole interaction.
She wasn't gonna leave them on.
Yeah, when he started talking about her nose, he's like, I like your nose. And I was like, don't sound like the guy from Seven right now. You sound weird, okay? Don't be fucking weird.
Don't do that, dude. Don't.
Okay, I want to talk. Oh, by the way, you mentioned the alcohol and the Coke and everything. I wrote down for this one because I took notes a little bit. I know we were just gonna like free range it and everything, but I wrote down this guy is a real alcoholic. Like he's like hardcore about it.
Oh yeah, this character, whether you're calling him John or Jack, depending which movie, he's an alcoholic for sure.
Yeah, and he's gotta go. Yeah, and in the original, here we can just take off our wigs. Hold on, guys. We're gonna take off our wigs for 2 seconds and everything because this shit is.
I'm so sorry, guys.
It's it's
90 degrees here.
It's so hot.
It's so warm.
We tried. We did our best and everything.
I would fail as a drag queen or any profession where I had to wear a wig. Apparently.
Yeah, that, and I don't know anything about fucking makeup. Okay, so.
Well, I'm so used to wearing wigs at Halloween when it's like 60 or below zero here, and we're all wearing winter coats at Halloween. So.
Ain't that the truth, sister? And you're like, oh, you're ruining my costume. And you're like, well, your costume should have been Kenny from South Park. Okay. So also, I just want to say, okay, what was it with the 1976 version where they would be talking and there was just a lot of background talking and noise? And I'm like, why are you, this is sound mixing is driving me mental right now. I'm like,
and then the 1976 version, the Barbara version, that's just what I'm calling it. The Barbara version, it was so slow. Like there was so much nothingness happening on screen. So much of them on fucking horseback.
Oh my God. And then building that fake ass house in the middle of the desert.
That ugly fake ass house.
Yeah. I literally was just
88,000 acres, and they build a like loft house. Like,
yeah.
There are apartments in New York bigger.
Right, exactly. Like the whole time I was the same way. Like I'm like, why are we wasting time on this nonsense? Like I'm not having fun right now. This is so boring. I was like,
that could have been a 90-minute film.
Right. Yeah. Opposed to the Lady Gaga version, where it's like, I felt like they did the same thing in that version, but they wrapped it up real tight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like it was all of that slow moving stuff had a purpose. Like when she's in the house and she's talking to her dad and all of his friends are there and she's cleaning up, it's not just taking up time. She's like, I just got home from work, brr, 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 and you guys are pigs, brr, brr, brr,
Yeah,
and they're all like, oh, you're an amazing singer, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes amazing singers just never get the right opportunity to be found.
Can I just say her dad was really not nice. That was like a mean comment.
Okay, but that's Andrew Dice Clay.
True, but we have to pretend we have to pretend he's not Andrew Dice Clay in the movie. It's called acting, and I was
just gonna say, when have you ever seen any movie with Andrew Dice Clay and went, oh, he needs an award right there? That's
so true. That's so true. Okay, so I want to talk about. Okay, I want to say though, both Bradley Cooper and the other guy, I don't remember his name. I don't care. I felt like
Sam Elliott.
Sure. Brother? Yep. No. The guy from the original one, the main character from the original.
Oh, Chris Christopherson.
Yeah, Chris Christopherson.
His character's John.
Okay, stop throwing names at me. I don't care. I did like that they both tried to woo-id the females, and both the females did not fuck them right away. I was like, good for you, Lady Gaga and Barbra Streisand. You were like, no, come back in the morning and everything. And Lady Gaga was like, this was fun, but I got to go to work and everything. And I really like that they were just like, I'm not just gonna fuck you because you're a star. I'm not a star.
I was just gonna say, did you originally get that? At least, and I didn't get it so much from Lady Gaga. I got it a ton from Barbra Streisand, where she was like, I see you're smoking mirrors. No, sir. No,
yeah, exactly.
And I did like how she didn't think he was going to show back up. And she's like, come back in the morning and I'll make you breakfast. She's like, shit, I don't cook.
I did like that he brought pizza. And like, he was like, I don't eat breakfast. And I was like, I'd eat that pizza. That looks delicious. Yeah, pizza. His chauffeur, exactly.
I love the chauffeur running down the street with the pizza. Like, I couldn't fucking have it delivered.
Right, exactly. I also like, from the 76 version, I wrote down, the rock star lifestyle is not for me. That shit is way too hardcore. Like I thought I could, like, maybe I could handle it. I was like, no, pretty much not handle it.
I go the 70s and the 80s for rock stars, completely different than today. Like,
right on.
So different. So much drugs and alcohol. And I mean, there probably is today, but I think they do a better job of hiding it today.
Right on. Okay, I want to mention something about the Gaga version. Okay. One thing that kind of drove me mental in this version was the fact that Bradley Cooper could not put in those fucking those earplugs to save his hearing, and that's why he ended himself at the end. I'm all like, you can't do the one thing. This all happened because you couldn't wear fucking earplugs. Get over yourself, you motherfucker. Okay.
So you're a singer. I am not. Like 23andMe even tells me that only 50% of the time, if I'm singing, I can only match pitch 50% of the time. So that's, when I'm in the car and I think I'm Britney Spears, that's when that happens. So I do not know, like at one point, Bradley Cooper's like, I can't put those things in. It messes with like my vocals and everything. Is that true? You sung
for sure. Yeah. You have to be able to hear yourself, because if you can't hear yourself, then like it's worthless and everything. But at the same time, I go, it's not necessarily like, he could have done the same. He could have worn those things and had playback in his ears. He could have saved his hearing. And I just, the whole time I'm just like, save your hearing, dude. Cause if you can't hear,
the only way
he
thinks he can save it is with drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, which I'm like, I don't think.
And his brother calls a spade from the beginning. He's
for
like,
sure,
he's an alcohol. You don't even know the half of it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I thought that he spoke some very hard truths to him.
Absolutely. And I do have to say, the one thing that the first or the second one did, the Lady Gaga one did, that the original or the 76 one didn't do, was he went to rehab.
Oh, right on.
He tried.
Yeah, he tried. Yeah.
And in the first one, in the barber one, the guy is like, fuck it. He drinks and drives. He drinks everywhere. And I'm sorry, I have no tolerance for people who drink and drive. Drink responsibly, drink at home, call an Uber, call a Lyft. I have no sympathy for you if you get behind the wheel of the car when you've been drinking.
Yeah, absolutely.
You should go to jail for life because you made a poor choice.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more with you. Okay, so one thing I want to ask you about is the music from both movies. Okay. Mm-hmm. Which music did you think had the better music? Which movie?
Definitely Lady Gaga, only because Barbara Streisand's tilted on disco, and I am not a fan of disco.
Yeah, I was gonna say it before or later on, but I am not a fan of Barbara Streisand's music. Like,
no, I love her acting.
Yeah,
not her music.
Yeah, so like every time she showed up, she was like, and I'm like, get out of here with your big bag of bullshit. Did you catch
the name of her group? In the
Oreos?
The Oreos.
Of course I did. I was like, that's some racist shit, Barbara.
I wrote, that's messed up. Because I did kind of take some notes too. So I got quotes and stuff right. And I went, the Oreos, really? That's messed up. And I was like, fuck the 70s. That's totally.
I was like, that's insane. Okay. So can I real quick, I'm going to talk about the Gaga version right now. So I want to talk about the lyrics to her first song, Why Did You Do That? Which, by the way, I'm obsessed with after watching this movie, because this is the first time I watched this movie. My wife sat down, the first time I sat down to watch this in 2018 with my wife, it dropped on digital and I sat down to watch her. I fell asleep 20 minutes in. I was like, and then I woke up and she was all bawling and I'm all like, what happened and everything. And then I never watched it again, right?
Okay. Neither one of these movies, in my opinion, are tier worthy. I'm just going to say
I was going to ask you about that later, but I'll ask you after I want to talk about this. Why Did You Do That song? Because I pulled up the lyrics while we were
give it to talking.
Me. Okay. So, and I love that Bradley Cooper calls her bullshit out later on.
Yes,
okay. So
in the bathtub when she's in the tub. Yep.
Oh my God. Which, by the way, Lady Gaga, love your tits. Anyways. Okay. So she goes, okay, why do you look so good in those jeans? Because I'm like, okay, that's, whatever. And then she goes, why do you come around me with an ass like that? And I was like, what? I was like, I thought Bradley Cooper
go wherever he goes.
Yeah, I like as soon as that line came up while I was watching the movie, I was like, I thought you were trying to say something, not be a big hooer and everything. And then Bradley Cooper, when he's like, why did you come around with an ass like that? I was like, yeah, call her out for her bullshit. Yeah. She's not saying something. She's
the very first thing he tells her before she has her first single show is don't compromise. Be yourself and fight for it.
Yeah. So I as soon as that line came up in her little song, I was like, but I have to be honest with you. I love that song. Like I have that on a playlist. I'm like, why didn't you do that to me? I'm not gonna lie. I have that on a playlist while I'm at work, and when it comes up, I'm all like, yeah, sing it. Okay. So
this is my question then for you. Out of the two managers, did you like Esther? Which, can I just say, I'm so glad, like in the last set of movies we did, White Men Can't Jump, and we were not happy with the change of the names. I'm so happy they changed her name.
Yeah,
Esther's a bit much for me. It's a fine name, but when you're a celebrity, there is no publicist that's going to keep that name. It's great.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree 100%. Allie is a way more contemporary name, way more modern than Esther. I'm like, listen, are you friends with Jesus? So I don't have anything against Esther. If your name is Esther, it's a fine name, but not for me. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm just saying there is no way any publicist is going, that's a marketable name. That's right. Like my first name. It's not the most marketable name in the world.
And my name is so generic, it's like ridiculous. Yeah, you need it.
Yours is a little. Remember, our mom made you special. You're only a 1T man.
1T, that's true. And there are other 1Ts, but we're very rare. Anyway,
very rare. You're like a fine wine. You get better with age, but you're hard to find.
Yep. There's like a BMXer, I think, that has 1T. Anyways, okay, so
my thought on this was the managers that convinced the girls that they need to go out on their own and stop doing this duet. I liked the 1976 version. Bobby, was his name Bobby? No, Bobby was the brother in the 76.
Does it matter? Mm-hmm.
I think his name was Gary.
Yeah.
I liked him better. He was the guy that had the slick black long hair and he wore the suits all the time. I didn't like Riz. Riz was a douche.
The thing about I have to just tell you right now, the reason I liked Riz better is because Riz was, I'm a believer of tough love, and I felt like Riz also told some hard truths.
So you don't think Riz nudged him a little bit of heading down that
to end himself? Oh,
yeah.
It's his fault. It's 100% his fault. It's Riz's fault that he ended himself. I'm totally like that. Yes.
Yeah.
But
he didn't just suffer. Both these characters, John and Jack, didn't just suffer from alcoholism. They also suffered from depression.
Yeah,
clearly,
for sure.
Which I'm assuming was caused by their fame. I'm assuming that's a downside of it or whatever.
Well, and bad parenting. I mean, like there was some bad parenting going on there. There was a lot going on here.
There was a lot, which they got way more into with the Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga version than they did in the first one.
Yeah.
So
I just felt like Riz was like, I just honestly felt like he was more like I didn't feel like whatever the guys from the 76 version from the Barber version was. I just felt like he was very like too nice about it. And me, I'm all like, listen, I'm the kind of person like, just hit me with the truth and don't pussyfoot around it. And I felt like Riz was like that.
But I think Gary did the same thing. He just was in a more tactful way. Riz, in my mind, just was looking at his bottom line and getting rich, where Gary, by the time he found Esther, he was already rich because he got rich off of John.
I can see that. One thing, I'm kind of sidestepping a little bit, but one thing I thought was kind of sad when John from Barber version, when he went to the band to show him his new music, and they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna go on tour by ourselves, and I was like, oh, and he was like,
you didn't think it was really like they were riding his coat wagon, that they like instead of being Speedway, they changed it to Freeway.
Yeah, I for like, sure. Absolutely.
That's a shitty name. Speedway's fun.
Yeah.
Freeway's dumb.
Yeah. Freeway sounds like you got to pay a toll. You know what I'm saying?
They're giving your wife a chase up the charts. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we kind of brought it up a little bit earlier, but I want to ask you because I have some questions for you.
Oh, let's do it.
Okay. Did you cry on either one of these movies?
No.
Okay. No. All right. Well, we need to. I shed a tear once, and then I got kind of choked up once. Not for the 76 version. I was like, fuck that noise. Because by the end of that movie, I was like, I'm glad he's dead because this movie's over.
Okay,
I'm like,
I had no sympathy for him because he literally is carrying a beer out of the house, gets behind his Corvette, and is driving his Corvette down the road while drinking a beer, swerving and speeding. You knew what was going to happen before it happened.
For sure.
Sympathy whatsoever.
Yeah, for that one. But for Bradley Cooper's character, okay, so I cried twice in this movie. The first one was when Bradley Cooper gets, well, I didn't cry on this one. I got choked up when he gets out of the truck with his brother.
Oh, when he tells his brother he idolized him, not their dad.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. I was like, and then his brother starts like tearing up and he like pulls away and everything. I was like, oh my God, that right there, that.
I got mad. I was like, why are you driving away? Sorry. Okay. I will bring it down a notch. I'm sorry. When I get really excited, I go to high-pitched levels.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
It's okay. It happens.
Especially with the alcohol. I swear alcohol does something to my vocal cords. Why? Like, Bradley Cooper just got out of rehab. He's struggling with the sobriety thing and all of that. And his brother, he just drops a truth bomb of crazy emotion on his brother, and his brother just drove away.
I mean, I think that I don't know, man. I don't know, but because I'm not in that situation.
They're not talking about it, but at least get out, give him a hug, and then get back in and drive away.
For sure. I mean, I guess so. And then the second time I cried was, of course, the ending, because I shed like literally it was like one glistening tear down my cheek and everything, because I just thought that it was really sad that I felt like Bradley Cooper's character, it was like he had tried and then he just felt like he was holding her back, and that the only way to let her succeed was to get rid of, like, eliminate himself from the problem. And he didn't realize that it was him that made her complete. And it was him that gave her like, he was like her muse, because he gave her the strength to realize that it wasn't just the pop music. It was what she could say and what she could do as far as influence and everything. And also that she didn't care.
I guess I did have like, I didn't get teared up or anything, but my sympathy came from, I did have sympathy or empathy for the situation. Barbara Streisand's ending didn't do anything for me. It's literally her on stage just singing
for a whole fucking song. I'm like,
oh my God. And it was the world's longest song. I swear it lasted for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. And I was go ahead. No, I want to say something about the music in the 76 Barbara version versus Gaga version. At least with the Gaga version, it wasn't just full screen of that person singing. With Gaga, when she's all like, I'll never love again, that part, at least they flashed back to the moment.
That was going to be my comment, is I liked how at the end when Lady Gaga singing, they did like a montage of like their life and their love together.
Yeah, and it was like that through the whole movie. When she was doing, why did you do that on SNL? They flashed to him in the backstage, in the backstage, getting a beer, talking to his brother. And I just go with the 76 or the Barbara version. It was just her on stage singing. And I go, listen, I don't need your old timey music video. I need you to tell me a story, but yet visually be pleasing. And Barbara Streisand,
my question, not visually pleasing. Barbara showed up at her husband's scene.
Oh my God, I can't
know. Oh,
go ahead. I want to talk about that right after you're done.
We'll come back to that.
No, talk about it. Yeah.
So my whole thing is the equivalent of that was Lady Gaga was doing a concert, because all they show when at the death of Bradley Cooper is just the flashing lights on the house and the dog in front of the door, so you know he's dead. So this is my whole thing. When she pays tribute to her husband during that, do you think she knew?
Lady Gaga?
Yeah, she says, let's give it up for my husband.
I don't.
Jackson. You don't.
No.
You don't think, do you think, I think she knew something was up, whether it was him falling off, because he was supposed to show up to do their duet together. I think that she was just like, oh, that's regular, Bradley Cooper just not showing up to a gig kind of thing. Because my whole thing was, the only empathy I had was that whole thing was that I had more empathy, not so much that, he was her muse. I had the empathy of he took his own life and they got him help for the alcoholism, but no one was empathetic of that. No one went, of his hearing, that the hearing problem was so bad that he went, oh, my hearing problem's bad and I can't drink to get rid of it. I'm a shitty husband and dragging my wife down according to her stupid fucking manager. I'm just gonna myself and it'll be better because I won't be in pain. She won't be in pain. The world will be a better place. I did at that point go, that was probably the closest that I came to tears, but not even. On.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Okay, so let's go back to Barbara and taking the helicopter.
Okay,
I want her husband's car. Yeah, accident.
And I want to juxtaposition both of the. If I'm saying that right, I can't think right now. I've been drinking too much. These are delicious. I'm all out. I should make another one.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Okay, so he dies. We don't see the car wreck because the 70s can't.
All you see is him go over a hill and then the car on its side, his body under a sheet, and the helicopter flies
one fatal accident and everything. First off, I thought I wrote down that it was his death. That's the Barbara version. The death scene was really weird. I wrote down that it was weird because she shows up and then she starts talking to it. And I go, how did she know? And she flies in on a helicopter and I'm all like,
so the helicopter's weird, but
it's weird. It's
when your family, weird. So I only know this because we know police officers. So when a family member dies in an automobile accident, now she got there when her husband was still there. You can go to the scene.
Oh, you can?
But the body's usually not there. I don't know of anyone that's like that, but from what I understand is that you can.
Okay.
But I mean, she was there lickety split. And the only thing I can think of is because she's there with the Gary guy is that because John was supposed to pick him up from the airport when he didn't show up, he chartered a helicopter, flew to her house. They found out and they were like, hey, helicopter buddy, we'll pay you more. Take us here. My problem with the accident is all he did was, and granted, it's a convertible, so it does make sense that he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. It does make sense that he died, but they could have been way more dramatic. Just on a back road, speeding, drinking, and driving, goes into a ditch and rolls the car and dies. Totally plausible. You're a movie, though. You can be way more dramatic. He could have hit a one lonely tree. He could have got airborne.
So much he could have done.
Could have got a ball of fire.
Yeah, I just thought that the Gaga version, I felt like the death it hit harder just because I felt like they
his character was more likable.
And yeah, exactly. He was more likable. I just felt like there was more going on there, and I just really felt like they could have done more with it. Not the Gaga version, but the Barber version. Okay, there's a couple of things I want to talk to you. Okay, one thing that I did miss from the Gaga version that was in the Barber version was that DJ guy that showed up at every fucking thing that they did. That was all like,
hey, Bebe Jesus or Jesus, Bebe Jesus.
He's like, you took a shot at me, man. He's like, hey everybody, this is DJ, whatever the hell his name was.
Jesus.
He's like, oh, we got a rock star here. Can't say his name, but he's a jive turkey and wants to say he's sorry and everything. And I'm like,
never understood how jive turkey was a put down.
Yeah, me neither. I'd be like that sounds great. I love turkey. Anyways, so it's so great with his tryptophan or whatever the fuck is in. Right. And then he shows up at the Oscars or the Grammys, yep. Which I want to talk about that real quick.
Yep.
But I love how he's just there every minute. And I was like, hey dude, maybe you need to get a hobby, like I don't know, build battleships or something. I don't know, but you're weird, okay?
Or when he yells at her, you're amazing. Get rid of the loser.
Yeah.
Or the chump.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, I was like, I kind of would like to see this character in the Gaga version. Like, I'm not going to lie. I wish he was there,
I love that he has the full-on DJ voice.
Oh my God, yeah. Like, hey, this is, and everything. Yeah. Also, I didn't like how the Gaga and the Barbara version, how the John cheats on Barbara. I felt like that was really forced. Like it was just like, oh, there's a woman here. I'm just gonna fuck her and everything. I like with that. I'm glad they didn't put it in the Gaga version because I just felt like it was just so not necessary compared to
he would do it.
Yeah,
I don't think it's legitimate, and I didn't buy it. I almost feel like he paid because I almost feel like he didn't actually sleep with her because remember she says, "I did what you said." Like,
right.
I wonder if he isn't doing the push her away.
Right. And doesn't she say something about how he couldn't get it up?
Yeah.
Like I can't remember exactly. I didn't write it down, the words and everything, but I did.
Or he couldn't even perform or something like that.
It was something like that.
So I'm like.
Which is embarrassing.
Well, I go, A, he was probably drinking, and B, I don't think he really wanted to. I think he was trying to give Barbara an out because she was talking to the guy at her like video shoot or concert rehearsal, whatever, about how they were having a
You mean the Tron commercial where she's like, I can't get down the stairs.
That is?
I don't know.
Said Esther in the background.
Yeah, it looked like Tron and everything. Yeah, it was really weird. Like she's like, I can't walk down the stairs, and like nobody's talking back to her. So I was like, bitch, nobody respects you. They're not even answering your questions.
She's like, what happened with the tape?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I want to talk about the Grammys, comparing the Grammys part to both of them. First off,
loved both of them though.
I loved both of them. I have to admit they were both pretty embarrassing. I felt like the Bradley Cooper one was way more embarrassing because he pissed himself, and I was like, oh, that's pretty embarrassing, dude. But I don't understand how if your significant other came up on stage and embarrassed themselves and their career is pretty much over, would ruin your whole career. Like me, if I saw that, I would just go, like, if that was Lady Gaga's real husband, I'd go, that's really embarrassing. I feel bad for her. And then I'd be like, when's her next album coming out so I can buy it?
I'd be like, that's how I would think. Because think about it. If Taylor Swift was married and that happened to her on stage, I'd be like, oh, her next album is going to be amazing. Yeah,
exactly. Unless it was like this last one. So much
material, guys. We are set.
Yeah. Exactly. Unless it was like that one, what was that one?
You don't like folklore.
Folklore. Yeah, that sucked balls. It was so bad. Fuck that album. Anyways, okay.
I live in a house of Swifties. We have a Swiftie shrine.
Yeah, come at me, Swifties. So... defend that album because you can't. It's fucking sucks. It's stupid. Okay. All right, you little cutie patootie. Sorry, go ahead. You go ahead.
Why don't we move on to our questions here? Because I think we've discussed as much as we can. We've gone through the whole movie and everything.
Yeah, so good though.
What question did you have?
Okay, so my question is, if you could pick Lady Gaga's next role, what would it be?
So I need clarification real quick because I have options. Are you thinking a remake or like an original?
It doesn't matter. Either one. You tell me both of them because mine kind of deals with a remake, but I only used it as a reference.
So, well, I went, if it was, so it's the same person. It's just remake versus, original. So I think she would be an amazing as Madonna.
Oh yeah, like Madonna.
Like she would play the character of Madonna.
Oh, shut up!
Like a remake of Truth or Dare, and I know Truth or Dare was a documentary like thing, but imagine if they remade that for dramatic purposes.
That'd be fun.
Or the biopic, because Madonna's been all big on having a biopic. I feel like as far as vocals go, she needs someone with really strong vocals. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there aren't too many characters or people out there that could do that as an acting character and meet Madonna's vocals, but Lady Gaga could.
I hear you. Yeah, no,
I mean, so.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
What about you?
Okay, so I didn't write down a movie. I just wrote down, I wrote down that she should play a single mom with like daughters, and I wrote down 2 daughters, and I wrote down a la Mermaids, with that movie Cher in it, like kind of like that, where she's like a single mom, but
I totally could see Gaga being a Cher.
Yeah, like
in movies and everything.
Yeah,
like she's totally.
Yeah, like in a Mask movie, but not in the Mask, just kind of like that kind of thing, because she's like so like
Moonstruck.
Oh. Yeah, exactly. You know what? We've decided Gaga's next move. She's just gonna follow the path of Cher.
Right? Totally, she should. Oh, and then she should be like Cher and do a video.
Hollywood, come talk to us.
With all the Navy guys.
Exactly. Oh. Hollywood, come talk. We know we're drunk. We're drunk
right
fools.
Here.
Yeah, we're right here.
We're on Spotify.
And you can pay us in alcohol. Like we're very cheap. We're very cheap.
Invite us to a meeting, give us all your ideas in advance, and then invite us to a meeting, ply us with some liquor.
Yeah, exactly.
We will tell you the do's and don'ts, pros and cons.
Exactly.
We're here for you.
We're here. We're here to help us help you.
Let us on the red carpet. I think we would.
Oh my God!
Excellent questions on the red. But they have to ply us with alcohol.
Exactly. And we have those little bottles, and we you have to take a shot before you answer our drinks because we're no.
Drunk. They have to give them to them in like as they're getting out of the limo on the break. So by the time they get to us, it's taken effect and be like,
you guys have to take this. You guys have to take this fireball.
Another shot.
Yeah, fireball first. Okay, what was your question?
So my question is, it's a 2-parter for both Barbra Streisand and Lady Gaga. What do you prefer? Their singing or their acting? Do you think Barbra should have focused on acting or singing and Gaga the same?
Okay. So I'm going to answer Barbra first, and then I'll answer Gaga. So for Barbra, I would say acting. And the reason for that is I think that Barbra Streisand has a beautiful singing voice, but I do not like her music. Like I can name a handful of songs that I like Memories, but like I can name
originally hers?
I don't know, but I don't care. I like her singing. But for the most part, all the music in this movie and her singing, I fast forward because I was like, I don't fucking care. I don't like Barbra Streisand's music. So I just I'm over it. Like I like her in Yentl and shit, or Funny Girl. Like she's good in that, but I'm like, other than shit like that, I just don't care and I don't want to see her in it. So acting, I would say acting because I do like movies that she's in, but singing wise, I haven't bought a Barbra Streisand album ever, and I wouldn't. So I would say acting. What about you for Barbra?
So I agree. Mine's a little different though. I think Barbra is an exceptional actress, and I think she would have been amazing on Broadway in musicals. I think because have you ever seen her in My Fair Lady, the movie? Phenomenal.
No. If I have, I don't remember it.
She's phenomenal in My Fair Lady. I think she would have been a superb, like iconic Broadway. Like I think she would have won all the Tonys possible that she was able to win. I mean, I think acting is her stronger suit. And the singing, the having a good singing voice is just kind of like just, you know, how some actors and actresses can add tap dance or figure skating or whatever to their resume.
Right.
I think singing is just something she can add to her resume.
I'd love it if she was a an ice skater. That'd be so
All right.
good.
So what did you think about Gaga?
Okay. So for Lady Gaga, I would say singer. It's not that I don't think Lady Gaga is a good actress. Don't get me wrong. I loved her in this movie, A Star is Born. She was great. I also watched House of Gucci, and I was like,
I was just going to ask you that. I found that one questionable, but I don't think that's a role she should have been allowed to take. Someone should have stopped her.
Yeah, the movie overall was bad, and I didn't think Lady Gaga did that great of a job.
That's what I mean. That's not the type of character.
Come at me, little monsters. I'm a little monster too. I love Mother Monster, but she's going to be in that Joker movie as Harley Quinn, so I'm kind of excited for that. But we'll see.
My only problem is I'm so used to and now I'm
Margot Robbie.
Yes, being Harley Quinn, that my brain can't.
I
compare every Harley Quinn to her. Even the cartoon versions, I'm like, oh, she would have done a better voice.
Right on. You know, I totally get it. But I also have to say, like, in terms of Lady Gaga, the reason I pick singer is because I bought every single one of her albums. And I'm all like, they're so good. You know, you could be like, I want to dance with my, like, she's got so many hits that you're just like,
I'm going to go back to because I agree with you. I'm going to go back to our comparison to Cher. Like, it's kind of like every opportunity, like whoever Cher's handlers or managers are, they never let her take a bad role. Like, can you name a movie that she was in that you're like, oh, that was a shitty role?
No.
Can you name any album of hers that you're like, oh, that was shitty? Even the ones where she was Sunny and Cher, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree.
You just can't. She was just phenomenal. And I do feel like the House of Gucci, somebody led her wrong. I don't think she would have picked that on her own. Or maybe she did. Maybe she's a huge Gucci fan and she was like, I need this role.
Maybe.
But I can see her being like Cher, where someday down the road, you're like, oh, she was just in all these phenomenal movies. Listen to her music. It's amazing. Her videos. I mean, Cher's videos were always
Cher.
Right? I mean, she only has one name. She's just Cher.
Yeah,
Anyone who's rose to the level of one name,
right?
I feel like that should be everyone's goal. Like, to just be known as one name. Like, Lady Gaga wants to drop the lady and she should just be Gaga, you know?
Yeah, Cher's all like, Cher's like, how do you make lemonade? I'm fucking Cher. I don't make lemonade. She's like, hey, Cher, just order it from Amazon. How do you fucking order from Amazon? I don't order from Amazon. I'm Cher.
Get on your app. Lemonade.
Yeah, she's like, I haven't ordered from Amazon since ever. I'm fucking like, Cher.
They're like, just order it from DoorDash or Grubhub. She's like, right. My assistant's name's Bob. Bob, go get me a burger.
Yeah, exactly. You know a burger. Right on. Cher doesn't eat burgers. Cher hasn't eaten since she hasn't eaten in like 20 years. So
you know as well as I do. She eats. She just goes in for a little touch up every now and then. Which girl, good for you.
Good for you. I wish I had the money for a touch up.
Right. If I could have a touch up, I would have more than a touch up. I'd have a complete do over, makeover, whatever.
And when no one's looking, I touch up myself.
All right. Do you have anything else you would like to say about these movies?
I would say don't watch the Barbara version. Watch the Gaga version. It's very good. I enjoyed it immensely.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing, but I also go, who of our generation or the generations after us would even think, oh, I'm going to go back and watch one of the earlier versions.
They're all weak. They're all weak.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for listening. Follow us on Twitter at BS Drunk Pod to stay updated and see all of our fun tweets, retweets, all of that jazz. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, anywhere where you can leave us a review, please give us a 5-star review or whatever the highest review is. We really appreciate it. It helps smaller podcasts like us immensely. We will also be posting this on our YouTube channel. So please hit that subscribe button. Let us know in the comments what you want to see, what you like, what you don't like. We will listen to you. Check us out at YouTube, BS Drunk Movie Reviews. Also, we have started a Patreon. On our Patreon, we do movie franchises. So if you are interested in that, we've done Sex in the City, we've done Jurassic Park, we've done the Bring It On series, which let me tell you, there are some hot messes in that. You will want to hear what we have to say. And there were some delicious drinks that accompanied
good. Oh my gosh,
those.
so good, so good.
And we're looking at doing the Scream franchise next. So if you want to hear what we have to say about that, check us out on Patreon. There will be links below to everything. But most of all, guys, we appreciate you for being here and listening. And remember to drink, recap, review, and repeat. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.